Greetings, Zombie Slayers, Sleepy Jim here. Welcome to part 9 of my solo high-round strategy guide for the Black Ops 2 Zombies map, Origins. And as you can hear, we're kicking it off here at round 25 with an attack on the generators by the Templar zombies. Looks like they're attacking generator number 5, which isn't too bad because it's not too far away. I can get to it pretty easily and defend it. And the bonus is, of course, guys, if you haven't noticed, if you manage to kill all the Templar zombies before they take down the generator, while they're actually attacking it, you will get a max ammo. So it's pretty awesome. You can, you know, throw your G-Strike if you have them, the G-Strike monkey bombs, or your regular monkey bombs if you have those as well. And it's almost like a guaranteed max ammo provided you can get to them. The only problem is, with these dudes, if they do attack like generator number 1 or sometimes generator 2 or 3 down near the spawn area, that area can be quite dangerous to go through the trenches in the higher rounds unless you're very, very fast getting through some of those tight areas. So you want to be careful if that happens. It might be better just to let them take them down and then just set them up when you have a single zombie left at the end of the round. Because you really only need to keep the, you know, the jug generator going and possibly the quick revive generator going in case you do get downed in the higher rounds.
Someone better have my back.
Okay, so we're basically rocking the ice stuff here. We're going to just be taking down most of these zombies. I'm just leading them around here. We're still got to fill up this particular soul chest. Well, we don't have to, as I said before. It's not really compulsory. But you might as well do it if you haven't done it already, just to get your Thunder Fists happening. Actually, someone let me know, I think it was in the comments section, one of my videos, that in the patch notes apparently, we get a max ammo here, which is awesome. But in the patch notes, the recent patch notes for Black Ops 2, they actually refer to the Thunder Fists as the 1-inch punch or something like that, which is pretty cool. It's like Kung Fu or something like that. I don't know. It rings a bell. It's like it reminds me of something out of Kill Bill or some Kung Fu movie or something like that. But it's not really a 1-inch punch. I don't know how accurate that terminology is really, because it's got a pretty lengthy melee animation on it, way slower, for example, than you know, the Galvanuckles and stuff like that, and you tend to swing out pretty far with the fists that you get. So I don't know about that name. I actually think Thunder Fists is catchier, a little bit like Permaperks is way catchier than what Treyarch technically call these persistent, what did they call them? Persistent abilities? Persistent something anyway, but it didn't sound nearly as catchy as Permaperks, even if it's an inaccurate term. I was actually thinking about the weapons in this map again, just today actually. We get another, just going crazy with the drops in this round, but I was thinking about the weapons in Origins again today, and I was actually thinking about what they've put in this map. There's really only 2 World War I guns that they actually put in the map, which is this Mauser pistol and the MG08, which was the German form of the Maxim machine gun. Considering World at War was all period guns from World War II, I think that kind of sucks that they didn't put more World War I guns in this map. I would have liked to see stuff like a bolt-action Springfield rifle on the wall in the starting area or something like that, you know. Or they had a couple of really cool submachine guns that came in towards the end of World War I, actually, that kind of were precursors of stuff like the PPSH. That would have been cool if they'd put them in as well. I mean, I know that they do have that radio message, and we get the Panzer Soldat there. You see just how quickly you take this Panzer Soldat out. He's not quite dead, but We'll get him in a second here, but you do take him out super quickly with this Pack-a-Punch Mauser, guys. I mean, if you hang on to the pistol from the start, or you make sure you get one out of one of these graveside digs, you're pretty much set once you Pack-a-Punch this thing. And you want to keep hold of this pretty much the whole way through. In my opinion, in some ways it's almost better than the Ray Gun Mark II. It's got a better feel to it in terms of your mobility and stuff like that. And I know it hasn't quite got the ammo, and it doesn't have the 3-round burst either, but it's an awesome gun. It really is. Yeah, but I do wish they had put, even if they just had them on the walls, you know, instead of the Thompson and stuff like that, if they'd had World War I guns. And the other thing is, I've been playing a lot of World at War multiplayer recently, because I went back on to give it a bit of a go, trip down memory lane. It was always one of my favourite Call of Duties, not just for zombies but for multiplayer. It was the first one I really got into multiplayer on, if you know what I mean. So it kind of has that sentimental thing, but I just love the maps. I love everything about it, really, except the hackers took it over, and that's when I stopped playing it. But I went back on, and there weren't that many hackers. There were a couple, but not too many. Of course, there's not that many players on there anymore, but yeah, there's enough to get into like team death matches and stuff like that. A lot of US players, not too many from Australia, which is bad for my connection. But anyway, getting back to what I was actually saying, I've been having a lot of fun just running around with an Arasaka bolt-action rifle with a bayonet on the end of it, no sight, and that has been a lot of fun. And I think bayonet warfare was a huge thing in World War I because of the trench warfare and stuff like that, and it would have been cool if they put a bayonet attachment. Even if it was a Pack-a-Punch, you know, Pack-a-Punch it and you got like a bayonet with the equivalent of Bowie knife damage on it, that would have been pretty cool. And yeah, I know the staffs have the melee, they've got the spikes going and that, but they're not really bayonets in the true sense of the word. Look at that, another max ammo. It's just crazy how many drops you get in this, in Black Ops 2 zombies in general, actually. They're very reliable. Pretty much at the start of every round you get 3 or 4 drops every single round. The first few groups of zombies that you kill. Of course, after that, you don't really get any more, but till the next round. But this is a really good map. There's a lot of, like, it's complicated enough that you have a lot of strategic possibilities in terms of how you go about your gameplay, which is what I love. Like, even simple things like being able to choose which direction you want to go in from the spawn room. That old classic zombies thing that we had in maps like Kino, for example, or the Riese, getting back to World at War and stuff like that, where you have to make a decision, and you have to start making decisions right from the start of the game in terms of which way you want to go and how you want to approach it. And I really love that, like having the ability to try and come up with strategies based on the details of the map. And this map does give you a lot of options in terms of how you manage your ammunition, like how you go about getting max ammos and stuff like that. There's a ton of ways you can approach that in this map. Like, for instance, at the end of a round, if you were really low on ammo, you could just get your ammo reward that you get from doing one of the challenges. You can see on screen at the moment above my perks, I've got all 4 rewards unlocked right now. So we did fill that soul chest finally. So I've got the thunder gloves. I've got the free max ammo. I've got the double tap perk unlocked as well. And the other one is the free Pack-a-Punched gun, which is usually like a Galil, or it could be the Scar, or it could be, what are the other ones you get? I think the STG and stuff like that. But the other thing you can do is what I'm doing right now. You can go around and you can dig up these piles of dirt or graves or whatever you want to call them. And you can actually get a max ammo once you have the golden shovel unlocked, which I do. You can get a max ammo as well that way. So you've got the reward box. If you get super desperate, you could use that. Or you could dig one up from a pile of dirt. You know, so there's a few ways you can get a max ammo if you get desperate in this. And once again, at the end of the round, we were trying to run around. We were trying to find a zombie blood, actually, because I don't really need ammo. What I'm looking for is the zombie blood drop. And I ran out of time, so we didn't get a chance to get our free zombie blood by shooting the flaming cuts. Some people are calling these things chariots. There's no way they're chariots, guys. I'm sorry. It's not like Ben-Hur, guys. This is World War One. There was no chariots roaming the trenches, I'm afraid. It's kind of crazy what the community comes up with sometimes. There's a lot of inaccuracies. Like, this has been out nearly 4 weeks now. We're just coming up to the release for PC and PS3 on Tuesday next week, as of the time of this commentary. So it's almost 4 weeks, and there's still, like, the other day I went on to the wiki page, the Call of Duty Wikipedia for zombies, and it still said, for instance, that the Easter egg, the little lost girl Easter egg in this map, could not be done solo, which is completely incorrect. I've done it solo, a ton of people have done it solo, and so I actually edited the page so it was correct. And you know, you look at a lot of guides that people put up early, and there's a ton of inaccuracies. They miss stuff out. Like, there's one in particular, I'm not going to name names, but it's a shall we say, an infamous YouTube channel. I wouldn't call them famous, because they're kind of douches, actually, most of them. There's one or two guys, they have like a team. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. And I'm not talking about NGT, those guys are pretty awesome. But anyway, this other channel, they posted up a guide that said they were 100% accurate, and they left out a key part of the Easter egg, which pretty much, if you don't know that step, you will never get the Easter egg done. So they never bothered correcting it or even putting an annotation on their video. And that's one of the main ones that people would go to rely on for stuff like that, you know what I mean? So, and I've seen a lot of guys that people rush up early that have not just little inaccuracies in them, but really big inaccuracies that mean that if people actually try and follow their guides, they won't be able to do whatever the guide is telling them to do, if you know what I mean, which kind of sucks, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of annoys me, because it, you know, people can spend hours trying to do, for instance, the Easter egg, and then because the guide's given them some incorrect information, that time is all completely wasted. You know, as a person that does video guides for YouTube on these games, that sort of thing does irritate me quite a bit, actually. And the community does itself a disservice, because a lot of these guys aren't really interested in helping people so much as they're trying to get views, they're trying to make money off YouTube, and that's why they rush out their guides and try and be first and post other people's footage instead of their own and stuff like that, just so they can be first and get a ton of views. And I think they're doing the community a disservice, and a lot of them, to be honest, I don't think they care about the zombies community at all. They just care about you know, money or views or whatever it is that they're on YouTube for, which is unfortunate. Anyway, that's my rant. That's my rant of the day. I feel a lot better. It's very cathartic and soothing that I could get that off my chest. But yeah, a lot of you guys, if you watch a lot of videos on YouTube, you know, or if you are part of the community for a while, you start to work out who these people are. And if you're anything like me, you avoid them like the plague. But you always get that with anything popular. You get people leeching off it and, you know, trying to take advantage of something that's popular and stuff like that. Okay, once again we get another max ammo, which is awesome. Unfortunately, I don't think I even need it. I don't think I'm going to go back and get it even. I did throw a monkey, which was kind of a waste, but we've pretty much got full ammo all the way here. And actually, you can get as high as like round 70, 80 without ever needing to worry about ammo or ever needing to go to the box or anything like that with this map, if you're careful. And if you've upgraded a couple of the other stuffs that are more effective, like the fire stuff, early on I could be using that right now instead of this one. or the wind staff. You know, probably not the lightning staff so much, because around 25 onwards, the lightning staff ain't that great. You know, it's not a one-hit kill, even with the charge shot and stuff like that in the higher rounds anymore. So I wouldn't recommend that one too much, but the other three are pretty reliable. And for the really high rounds, the ice staff and the wind staff are the ones you want. So we are going to have a look around the map again and try and find us some zombie blood to try and get another slot for our perks. Ideally, what I would probably want to get next as a perk is probably something like Flopper. If I throw a grenade, I don't want to kill myself, for example. There's the other ones that are available, things like Deadshot, which is probably going to have limited benefit right now at this point of the game, although I guess it could be good for the Mauser a little bit. What else? We've got Electric Cherry. There's obviously Quick Revive that I didn't buy and I didn't use at all in this gameplay, actually, because if you didn't watch the first episode where I explained it, or any of my other high round strategy guides, I never use Quick Revive in my normal gameplay. I will use it if, you know, I'm trying to get a specific bit of gameplay for a tutorial or something, so I don't have to get frustrated. But in my normal gameplay, I won't use it because I like to play like the old world at Warway. And here's our free zombie blood right here.
I got some kind of stink all over me.
Yeah, so for the Easter egg, for instance, I would use Quick Revive for sure, because you don't want to go 3 hours setting up the Easter egg and then get killed some stupid way and have all that time wasted. But if you just, you know, if you're just playing normally, I would personally I think it makes you a better player if you know all the time that if you make a single mistake and get down, you're gonna end the game. Like, it does make you a lot better player and a more cautious player, and you have to think a little bit differently and not take quite so many risks. And I have noticed when I play co-op, because I am a little bit more cautious possibly in how I play. Actually, I'm the same with multiplayer as well when I play that. And look at that, there you go. We get a max off a gravesite. That is awesome. And that's not the first time I've got one in this particular gameplay either. What was I saying? Yeah, anyway, I play a little bit cautious. I'm usually the last person left alive in most of the co-op games I play, even with really, really good zombie players. And there we go, we get our Thunder Fists, or Braces, or Bro Fists, some people call them. I don't know why, maybe they're PewDiePie fans, but apparently the official name is 1 Inch Punch. Sounds like a boy band or something to me, or some sort of kung fu thing, but yeah, I prefer Thunder Fists myself. I guess you could call them Fists of Iron as well because of the Easter egg step. Anyway, it doesn't really matter what you call them. Personally, I don't think these things are really essential at all. They've got a really slow melee action on them, like I said before, which could make them a little bit hazardous, and they're not going to be real effective anyway for you past, you know, I think they stopped being a one-hit kill somewhere around round 17 or something like that. If you get the upgraded version via the Easter egg, that is really awesome because you get the elemental effect as well of the stuff that you're holding at the time. The other thing worth mentioning is with Flopper, that will also give you the elemental effect with the flop explosion. So if you've got the ice, it'll do like an extra ice effect when you flop. You know, you'll get the lightning if you flop with that stuff, and fire and so forth, which is a pretty cool touch. I love that stuff. Love those little subtle things that they put in. And who knows, maybe there's more secrets we haven't found yet in this map. I guess it's a possibility, although usually most things have been found within the first 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, it's unlikely, but you never know, I guess. Pretty much people start hacking into the files anyway, and if there's anything at all in the game, they'll find it in the files that way. Which is why it's unlikely in this day and age that Easter eggs will go unfound after a couple of weeks. Now, I must be heading down here to get the wind stuff again. Probably why I'm going down here. I can't think of any other reason. I don't think we were short in ammo with the ice stuff, but I probably just wanted to try this for a bit, just for some variety. Like I said, this is one of the more powerful, well, it is the most powerful stuff, as I've said before, probably a few times in this commentary. This is a super long commentary, guys, for a high round strategy. It's very rare that my solo strategies go for this many episodes, but there is a lot of setting up and mucking around in this map, similar to there was in TranZit, so it's not like a quick map like some of them are. And we're going to head back to a spot here as well. And I'm still searching for the grave sites to dig up. But we'll probably kill this last zombie here with the old Thunder Fists. And move on to round 29, guys, which I will bring you in the next episode. We're getting near the end now. But I hope you're enjoying this. Please remember to rate and comment for now. It is Slippy Jim out. Thanks for watching.